The Russian Revolution. How the Tsars were overthrown. For centuries, Russia was ruled by the Romanov dynasty. But in 1917, everything changed. The Russian Revolution overthrew Tsar Nicholas II and led to the rise of the Soviet Union. How did this happen? The fall of the Tsar. At the start of the 20th century, Russia was in crisis. The country was mostly made up of poor peasants. While the aristocracy lived in luxury, Tsar Nicholas II, the ruler of Russia, was unpopular due to his weak leadership. His government ignored the suffering of the people, and unrest was growing. In 1905, protests erupted across Russia after the Bloody Sunday Massacre, where the Tsar's soldiers fired on peaceful demonstrators. To calm the people, Nicholas II created the Duma, a parliament, but he still held most of the power. Over the years, anger against the monarchy only grew. Then came World War I. Russia entered the war in 1914, but its army suffered terrible defeats. Soldiers lacked weapons, food, and supplies. At home, the economy collapsed and people were starving. By 1917, the Russian people had had enough. The February Revolution, March 1917. In Petrograd, now St. Petersburg, workers and women took to the streets demanding bread, peace, and land. The protests spread, and soon the army refused to follow orders to stop them. Instead, many soldiers joined the revolution. Realizing he had lost control, Tsar Nicholas II abdicated the throne on March 15, 1917. A provisional government was set up, but it struggled to fix Russia's problems. Instead of ending the war, it kept fighting, which angered the people even more. The Bolsheviks and the October Revolution, November 1917. During this chaos, a revolutionary group called the Bolsheviks, led by Vladimir Lenin, gained popularity. Lenin promised to end the war and give land to peasants. His slogan was simple: peace, land, and bread. On November 7, 1917, the Bolsheviks seized power in Petrograd. In what became known as the October Revolution, they arrested the provisional government and declared a new communist government. The end of the Romanovs. In July 1918, Nicholas II and his family were executed by the Bolsheviks, ending the Romanov dynasty. Russia then plunged into a bloody civil war between the Bolsheviks, Reds, and their enemies, Whites. The Bolsheviks eventually won, and in 1922, they established the Soviet Union. The Russian Revolution changed world history forever. It marked the rise of communism and shaped global politics for decades.